Nietzsche's phrase, "woman was God's second mistake," is not an offense but a diagnosis. A brutal declaration that behind the facade of love and romance, a much older and more cruel power game operates. But before Nietzsche, another philosopher had already mapped this abyss, Arthur Schopenhauer, the master of pessimism. The man who looked at romantic love and saw nature's most elegant trap. What I'm going to reveal to you today is the philosophy that modern society has tried to censor. A truth so uncomfortable about the nature of desire that it can shatter your perception of relationships forever. We are not here to defend Schopenhauer, but to use his brutal clarity like a scalpel to cut through our own illusions. Because deep down, what offends us most about his words is the echo of a truth we have already felt, but never had the courage to admit. If you have the courage to face reality without the veils of romance, make your commitment. Subscribe to the channel to master the codes of real power and leave your light to seal your entry into this forbidden knowledge. And get the Guide to Dismantling and Neutralizing Female Ploys in Love, a true manual for the modern, high-value man. The truth is a bitter pill. Swallow it. The blind will, the invisible engine. For Schopenhauer, you are not free. Your choices, your desires, your love, none of it is yours. You are a puppet, and the strings are controlled by a blind, insatiable, and irrational force, the will to live. This will doesn't care about your happiness, your dreams, or your peace. It has a single goal, to perpetuate itself, to create more life. And life, for Schopenhauer, is synonymous with suffering. We are slaves to an eternal cycle. We desire, we suffer to get it, we get bored, and we desire again. Happiness is just the brief relief between two moments of pain. It's from this bleak view that he analyzes the relationship between man and woman. What he sees is not a meeting of souls, but a conspiracy of biology. Romantic love, for him, is the will's greatest fraud, the perfect bait. Nature enchants you with the promise of ecstasy and completeness, only to use you as a vehicle for its sole purpose, reproduction. Beauty, youth, chemistry, all of these are just genetic codes disguised as feeling. You don't fall in love with a person. You fall in love with a set of characteristics that the will has deemed ideal to create the next generation. And once the biological objective is achieved, the magic disappears. The spell breaks, and love reveals its true face, a contract, a routine, a bore. The two instruments of the will. In this biological theater, man and woman are given different roles. Protocol number 1. The woman is guardian of the species. For Schopenhauer, the woman is the pure personification of the will. She is pragmatic, instinctive, and rooted in the present. Her genius is not in abstract thought, but in the perpetuation of the will. The unconscious strategy, charm, vulnerability, sweetness. These aren't just personality traits, but weapons, refined biological tools to secure protection, resources, and the best genetic material for her offspring. She doesn't do this out of malice, she does it out of instinct. She is nature's agent, executing a plan she herself is unaware of. The effect on the man is that he, blinded by passion, sees love where there is strategy, sees surrender where there is negotiation. He becomes a pawn in a game he believes he is controlling. Protocol number 2. The man is a potential rebel. The man, for Schopenhauer, has a flaw in his programming. In rare moments, he can transcend the will. He can choose honor instead of life, art instead of reproduction, truth instead of happiness. The masculine tragedy is precisely this capacity to transcend that makes him vulnerable. The woman, as guardian of the species, has the power to pull him back into the cycle of desire and suffering. Her love is the anchor that holds him to the world of desire and suffering. She is, in his view, the smiling face of his biological prison. The sovereign challenge is that the only path to freedom is the negation of the will, to become indifferent to the siren's song, to place your mission, your art, your pursuit of truth above the impulse to merge with another. To love, perhaps. Freedom in lucidity. What do we do with this brutal philosophy? Do we hate it? Do we dismiss it as misogyny? The sovereign man does not dismiss it. He uses it. He understands that, behind Schopenhauer's bitterness, there is a map. A map of the invisible forces that govern attraction, and with this map, he depersonalizes the game. He understands that attraction and rejection are not about him. They are about instinct. This frees him from the pain of ego. He sees through the facade. He learns to differentiate what she says she wants from what her instinct truly wants. He becomes a center. He stops making her his mission. He builds his own mission. And this self-sufficiency, paradoxically, becomes his greatest weapon of attraction. He doesn't need her love to be complete. And that's exactly why she desires him. Schopenhauer's philosophy is not an invitation to hate women. It's an invitation for you, man, to stop hating yourself for not understanding the game. It is a call to lucidity. Final conclusion. Love will not save you. It is, more often than not, the final test. The test that determines whether you are the master of your soul or just another slave to the will. You can continue living in the romantic illusion, being dragged along by passions you don't control, and wondering why you always end up hurt. Or you can accept Schopenhauer's brutal truth. You can look at love not as a destination, but as a force of nature to be understood and mastered. The path to freedom is not finding the perfect love. It's becoming so whole, so sovereign, that you no longer need it to feel alive. And it is at that exact point of power that true love, if it exists, appears. Thank you so much for staying with me this far. I'll see you in the next video. Forward, warriors.